so many questions if this helps. This helps. This okay, that works. It's makeshift, but it works. Hello, I'm back. What kind of? I can't really talk, so today's gonna be very interesting. But hello, I'm back. I'm sick again. I was editing some videos. Well, I was originally, and then my thing kept crashing. And I was like running through the videos because I was taking out little bits in it. And I was listening to some of it, and it said, "Guess what? I'm sick." In the video, I was like, "Wow, that's very on theme for right now." Yay! Let's go. Anyway, I am recovering? Question mark. I've like relapsed once already with this cold. I thought I was better last week when we did that stream, and then I had to go out and I got sick again because I went next to people and it relapsed, and then I had to do a lot of work while I was sick, and now I'm behind work because I took a few days off. I'm still behind. I'm still catching up. It's not fair. Oops, my chat keeps turning off. Let me make sure it stays on for you guys so I can read your chats. But yeah, we're leaving off from where we were at. I have no clue where we were at. So we're leaving off from wherever the flip we were at. I'm probably not going to be looking at chat because I'm going to be reading some stuff because I'm pretty lost on a lot of the quests here. Because it's very much you figure you have to be like, go to that person at a specific time during a specific point, and it's very confusing. And I've had to go back and look stuff up because I was like, I don't know what to do or how to finish this one. Because I've clicked on all the dialogue and it's not working. What the flip, YouTube? What was that? YouTube's having a panic attack. Okay, it seems to be normal now. Let's go into it. So we're back again. The phase soul carrier describes any shell inhabited by a soul, including human spirits and the rites themselves. So everything has a soul. Got it. Okay, you guys can see. Let's continue. First thing I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm in Gal Rocks. The first thing I'm gonna do is I need to go look up somebody. Oh, nice, I can see it still. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go cheat. Oh, this has music. I never noticed. It's very nice. I'm so concentrated, I never noticed this music, but it's nice. Sorry, I'm just having a look-see through everything. I'm trying to find their quests. Because it is a pain. List of quests. Okay, this is what I was doing. Apparently I can open the closed tunnel by talking to somebody in the creeks, which I've been trying to do for ages. Okay, I look for someone. I don't know who I'm looking for. This quest here. Don't ask how I can look people. Hey, ゚Narvik is the best poke maker in the north, says young boy, with a proud posture. Come, I'll take you to her. The carpenter has their space at the edge of the village, separated from the saltery with a rock-stone wall that catches the shavings before they reach the fish, and which are then swept into a pile and moved into the smokehouse. The tiny woman keeps her distance from the other workers, partially because of the many bits and pieces she needs constantly at hand, such as logs, steaming planks, and boats, keels only a few steps away from her. She must be at least 40 older than any other woodworker in sight. Her light brown hair is in a ponytail, letting her work, and the simple tunic and pants made of hemp in the 3 shades of red letting her work, yeah, I said that right, have short sleeves and legs. Her tan skin is like dark honey. Oh, cute. She glances at you from afar and turns away, cutting some sort of log without pause, as if hopes you won't notice her. The massive broad axe made of fine steel looks even larger as it's resting on her back. It's engraved with the shape of a toothed eel twisted into a spiral. The kid leaves you alone. You're standing in silence. I heard you make boats. Yeah, I make boats. She doesn't raise her eyes. Okay. So, apparently I can't interact with them. That's fine. Look-sees the bridge. We can go to the creeks first. Did I ever find the lost merchants? I don't remember. Let's have a look-sees. Oh. No, adding S on the end of everything. These are the completed ones. I don't think I have your quest, the lost merchants. Let's return. Let's go to the lady. What time is it? I know it's before dusk. I follow him inside. Oh, okay, I can ask more. Stop it. I can ask more questions, is what I wanted to say. Let me open up this. Hi Wade, welcome in. No, you're not late. I started like 13 minutes ago. So welcome in, other souls. It's nice to see you. How are you going, Wade? How's the noon time now for you guys? Servia is putting away her writing instruments, glances at you, then frowns. The closer you get, the more annoyed she seems to be, but she says nothing. Oh, she collabs with the Bannons, apparently. What are your thoughts about the necromancers in White Marshes? You almost jump away when the crossbow shifts her position, but she turns out to just be uncomfortable with the way she's sitting. Sareen smirks, but as she starts to speak, her voice grows worried. What happened in White Marshes is a sign of cowardice and weakness. I have seen my share of harsh years, and I sympathize, I do, with a tribe that had to feed their people with tree bark, or decide which mother will eat enough to feed infants. But all them walking corpses will get out of the charms and murder their masters, like they always do. Instead of hunger and cold, they will face the end of their souls. All we can do is keep ourselves safe. He tried to ask a few more questions, but to no avail. We don't really travel often there, stranger, and some of the knowledge we gather on this place is for our own ears alone. I nod. She doesn't trust me enough. That's fine. Hello, Wade. Welcome in. The people of Old Pagus have used an old could use maybe some supplies for winter. She straightens up and frowns. I think you misunderstand the shape of our past alliance. You do. While it is true that our forebears have strong ties before Pagus started following the right in their own river of faith, for years now we've been at odds, contacting each other merely out of necessities. Ever since we were accused of robbing them. She suddenly pauses, glancing at her granddaughter and clearing her throat. Wrongly accused. We're not welcome at their gates. I've no doubt they wouldn't help us either, if you say so. My patient runs short, outsider. Sylvia gestures for you to pause. Are you sure other matters can't wait until tomorrow? I am sure. I need to talk to you. Have you heard of the tribe of the Great Green Mountains? I can hear myself. Let's turn that down. I can hear myself coming through the phone. No, you're not Wade. Got there eventually. Did you now? Then find somebody who holds them in little regards. We promised to keep them safe from guests, we did. She pauses, glances at your blade. Especially armed city folk. I hope you understand. You try to learn anything else, but she runs out of patience quickly. Gal Rocks was one of the very few settlements that used to trade with the tribe. I aren't speaking merely of things I remember myself, but even some that happened hundreds of years ago. The proud words make her voice get stronger and louder. Hallivan's merchants won't find anything there, and there are no roads for you to patrol. Forget about them, outsider. I frown, but I agree to change the topic. She observes you without a word, but her fingers are tapping on the table, and the guard gives you a telling look. She's sick of me. Have you seen Astron recently? He was also RoadWarden. She shrugs, reaches for one of the candles, casting better light on one of her smaller wax tablets. I know who he is, but I've only spoken with him a few times. Heard he stopped visiting the village at the beginning of summer. If he was around, I would know about it, I would. You mentioned you doubt a RoadWarden would simply ignore a head woman of such a village. She looks at the ceiling and chewing on her bottom lip. I don't know what you're trying to imply, she says with a tone that won't accept any discussion. I had as much in common with him as I have with you. I don't trust strangers with critical tasks, and if a warden of any kind wants to demonstrate that they know what they're doing, I'll invite them to survive a year or two before they bark. I don't respond. Don't trust me enough to give me any work, nice. Considering that you people of your village follow the right, I'm surprised you're not pressured into taking action against the undead. And what do you think we ought to do? Encourage them by taking their land, or start startling their wild game, maybe touch their roofs. She takes an awkward long pause. As you start to answer, she instantly cuts in. We have no plans to conquer or pillage their home, and while some of us would like to take matters into their own hands, I am not risking our lives in battle with mere heretics against a wall. We'll have nothing to keep us safe. I say nothing and expect her to interrupt me again. What can you tell me about Gal Rocks? She speaks slowly with a kindness someone may show an annoying brat that has one last chance to learn from their mistakes. Do I look like someone who would be interested in spending time as a guide or a telltale? Before you answer, she moves around a few small packages and looks inside. Scap. Spend some time among our walls, speak with the fishers, the artisans, all our lads and lass whose blood keeps the shells of our village alive, I say. Okay, bye. She's very talkative. We do love talkative people. Let's have a look back here. We should go talk to... what's his name? Photius. Okay, you're told that Photius and other fishers spend long hours at the beach in the north, can be found in the village only during very early or very late hours, unless the weather makes the fishing too dangerous, so we'll go down to the beach. That's enough for now. Let's check what's in our journal. Bronze rods. We only have one to place, and that's at the White Marshes. We need to go to the creeks, hidden village, missing hunters. Somebody's in the middle of the forest that I need to go and get. This person. I can give him some alcohol apparently and that'll make him like me. I need to spy on them, so they need to show me some trust. She won't do anything until I move the boulders. And then I need to go back to the monastery because I've found information about the golems. Okay, we're going everywhere again. Unfortunately. Alright, first things first, let's go down to the beach. Let's travel, because it's 9 hours until dusk, so we go down to the pier. I approach the pier. Most of them are away from the coast, casting nets in the boats, or just walking around with heavy clothes, but reveal legs, using their fancily shaped spears to catch either a fish or a bird sitting on the rocks. There are a few people resting, eating food, and keeping an eye on equipment. Photius is inspecting the equipment, discussing further plans with the workers on the coast. How's Phoebe doing? She's far from well, stranger. He avoids your eyes. She sucked on the stone, she did, went to sleep right after, and is still sleeping. Nothing wakes her. Touch, water, shouts. He stops when his voice cracks. Oh. Yeah, she's gone into a coma. Need any help with fishing? Keep an eye on, yep, I'll get money. Nice. It turns out you don't have much to do. The hours go by, and during the lazy break you receive a fresh roasted fish with a bowl of cold veggie stew. I lead Reginald back to the road. Here's Reginald 3 hours before dusk. Let's travel to here. I can't go through here. I won't get there before nightfall. Oh, okay, so it's dark now. Well, that's sad. His, let's go to Foggy's. But it's sad his daughter's gone into a coma now. Although, I was kind of expecting it. I enter the tavern. I have some questions about the peninsula. Go ahead. The tribe of the Green Mountain. She looks at you in silence and then suddenly bursts into laughter. Was it me who told you about the tribe? Was it me who told you about the tribe of Green Mountain? Shameful, her chest is running like a wild beast. Oh, love, they won't be happy to see you. They live in a cave far from here on the mountainside in the far east. They try to stay away from what's happening in the lowlands, and they don't even want to trade with us anymore. Not since, she waves her hand. Since almost a decade ago, I'd say. You mean when the village got ruined and cursed? When you ask her why their presence is such a secret, she scratches her knee. It's their will. We seek no conflict with their weird shamans. They know of the monks from the monastery. They're afraid of what they'd face upon the Unite's arrival. You know what the church does to pagans? Both of the words are dripping with disgust. You'll have to bother them. Ride south to the old bridge, then turn east until you reach a game trail. Just stay on the northern side of the brook. Be sure you can get through the thicket somehow. How about thanks? And would like something to buy. We're going to buy the casket of ale because, sorry Cyber, because somebody would like it. So we bought that. And then we get it for cheap. We get it for like 4 for her. Because she likes us. Which is nice. I like her as well. I need to sleep. Yep, we'll sleep. Same thing as before. Time for me to go. Huh? The 10-year-old mystery. The clues you gathered suggests that this lazy peninsula went through many changes 10 years ago. Accidentally, around the time when the southern village has fallen. You could use what you learned to ask the locals exactly what happened. Gaining their trust might take a bit of work. I approach the foragers. I say nothing and I walk away. We go back to traveling. I got the cyber, I take it to him, but I need to go up to the creeks and ask them a few questions. Somebody, I think it's the hunter guy. I go speak to the hunter. Have you ever met the tribe of the Green Mountain? He leans away and gives you a surprised look, then shrugs so nonchalantly that his hat falls on his back. No, they use the old speech. It sounds like drinking songs of seagulls. He scoffs at his own joke. They They only talk to our elders like Foggy, he whispers. Hey, though don't call it that. There was a time when they gave us seed and spears on a visit. We also brought them gifts to ask for something. And that was it. After he strays for a bit, you change the topic. How do I ask you about... Does the Hunters of the North hinder your job? Nah, they only get closer when they're chasing their wounded prey, so I would say mostly the same. You could have another village twice our size, he glances towards the gate, halfway from here to the Pelt, and there'd be more than enough game for every belly, as long as they would forage and set up farms. You ask him if he's ever considered joining professional hunters, but he takes off the wolf's head and gives it to you so you can take a better look. It's weirdly warmed by the sun. That's the only wolf any of us felled in the last 5 years, you see. Not that we're cowards, he suddenly raised his voice. Our trade is just isn't like the big game hunters. I place fish traps, put glue to catch birds, shoots rocks at rats and rabbits when in a group. We may seek deer or archets. He takes the hat back and looks at it with nostalgia. Those in the inn seek trophies, not for meat. So they hunt for big games, ones that, fight back. Our ways are different, but I like that bunch. At least they smile. Unlike others in the peninsula, hunters always find a common tongue. Once you see enough blood and guts, you have to laugh or go crazy. What do you think of Alpha? He repeats your question, making sure you heard it correctly, and then scratches the wolf head. I respect him. He takes care of me as an older brother. He's boring, you know that, and hides a lot behind those smiles of his. He spends his days in the workshop, thinking we both be as weak as we are now, and smart enough to posture. There's work to be done. He mimics the carpenter's cadence. There always is. You want to ask about the weaknesses, but he gives you no time to speak. There's almost no folk from older generations left, did you notice? Foggy, old Halv, are the only two still capable of doing work, but they aren't getting any younger, and are already wounded. You think about the tavern keeper's lost arm. We'd almost lack in numbers, blade, tools, and skills. The beast took away many souls. But our friend won't talk about it. He'd rather forget them and tie this place to the other villages, making us merchants and rotten carpenters. He just is like boiling with frustration. Then risk the lives of the young tribefolk on training and hunting. We've suffered so much, yet we've become even weaker. He calms himself down with silence. I walk away. I'll go talk to this guy then. He's testing a new chair, which is wobbling as a bit too much. He smiles and puts away his tools. Welcome, friend. Good to see you. Staying safe on the roads? What do you know about the ruined village in the south? He freezes for a good moment and takes a deep breath, puts away his tools and looks you in the eyes. His fingers are moving slowly as if he's trying to warm them up before playing on a lute. Don't push me into those dark grounds, Ren. I've been stepping on them for years and I'm still struggling, please. Alan, I need to know what happened 10 years ago, don't you trust me? I do, Ren, I do. His voice is closer to a whimper. But you can't see him in pain. I beg you. Let me die with this shame. Aren't we friends? His hands are clamped on his stomach, putting pressure on it, as if he's trying to stop some invisible bleeding. Fine, find him. Stop it. Deal with your shame by being honest with me. Shall we be rude? Also, hello, welcome in, more souls. I see you guys coming in. Welcome, welcome. Fine, give it to yourself. He bites his lower lips and looks away. Troll stuff. RoadWarden, fine. He stands up, points at you with his clenched fist, suddenly filled with a spirit you've never seen before. What do you want me to say? That I was there, as well as my parents, and parents from our other villages. That ゚Secret wanted to make an example of the stepped house and told us either to help her or to be next in line. He spread his eyes. I, the great uniter of the north. We went there with her marauders, left dust and hunger behind, and the beast herds came after us, angry from the burnt and cut down trees too. Too bad once that happened, no soul wanted to deal with that two-faced weasel. His voice cracks. We cut the flesh of innocence to save our own. We got nothing from it. You flinch when he raises his hand and moves towards you, even though his gesture is not as much as an attack, as a way for him to let out some of his fire. Seeing your reaction, he slows down, but that only makes his voice louder. You already know all of that, didn't you? And you just had to test my last wit of your game. What, you think? You take the blood from my blade and wake up that boy? Other people in the yard cease their work and observe you. You hear a child crying. I raised my voice. I didn't know you had to kill anybody, but you're lucky that you faced no consequences, even if you deserved them. Now stand away. I tried to stay quiet. I wasn't there. I had no clue what you went through. Maybe you deserve your pain, maybe not. I won't judge you. Well, I don't judge. I speak softly. You're a victim, not a villain. ゚Secret would have struck them with or without you. Maybe killed you as well. But you're alive, and you try to put your life into good use. Let's do the middle one. There are no words, he starts, swallowing his tears, then floundering through sounds. No words that could wash my dreams, Ren. I can't be forgiven, I can't fix anything. He turns and lunges into the building with his tools. The sad looks of others still follow you, but life slowly returns. I will speak another time. Reginald walks around the tree as far away from it as its cord allows. Oh. Okay, steep house. Having discovered the truth, you could force the people of Housersdale to confront their past. They may not take kindly to your requests or threats, and the more you learn about their deeds and conflict, the more tools you have to use against them, if they will listen to me at all. Okay, let's travel. See the old farmer. What do you offer? Fish trap and roasted chicken. What do I have in my inventory? It's my journal, not my inventory. I have 1 ration. That's great. I love it. Okay, fare thee well. Okay, let's not do that. Let's travel. I can go there. I can go back to these guys. Let's go to this one. Take 2 hours and 45 minutes. A white-haired hawk is sitting in the middle of the path, tearing away fresh off its furry prey. Once it realizes you're riding straight at it, it takes to the air, leaving with its meal and not even sparing you a glance. ゚Secret is sitting on a bench, observing you as he grinds something in a mortar, but once he greets you, he leaves his tools behind and moves to the edge of the scup. The creeper is idly hanging on his arms. And you mean with ゚Secret? And be sure. I need his trust before I can offer him a bribe. Let's open the path. actually... It's still 9 hours, so let's travel away from here. So I need his trust. Let's go to these guys. You can probably... They're still recovering, so we actually can't talk to them. Let's check the forest if there's anything we can gather. The spire trees and shrubs grow strong, but there are no fruits left. Only birds nest amongst branches, leftovers in the short branches, and there are many edible plants in sight. They aren't ready to pick yet. Need a few more days. It's fine. Let's travel down to the monastery and get you guys this thing done. You spot a movement in the thicket. Far below you, a massive bear is hunting a fish in the river. There are no souls in sight. From the mountain comes a cheerful singing of a woman, though you can't understand a single word. You call the monks by hitting the sticks, and the drawbridge lowers. RoadWarden welcomes you with a cheerful wave of his bandaged hand. Salutations! Glad to see thee in one piece. His young companion is right next to him, observing the sky with a wide grin. I consider asking him to... I have a letter? Wait, what? I have a letter? Actually, a letter, a sealed scroll given to you by the mayor. What was I supposed to do with this scroll? I forgot. What am I doing with the scroll again? I didn't even... Where did I get it from? Where did it... Oh, is it from these guys? I'll receive a letter with her offering. I received my reward. Okay, well, that's for the Halvan, I see. I don't think you'll read it for me, I'll be fine. About the thing you asked me to do, I'm listening. I learned more about the engravings on the golems. His eyes are widened. He and ゚Secret exchange telling glances. He rubs his bandaged hands. If those signs work, who knows what kind of words she could select next. His voice is tense, but hoarse, forcing him to cough. Taking supplies, maybe. Hunting humans. I told you quite a lot about these creatures already. He spares you a kind smile. You did, so I'll speak with prt11 soon. Let me know when thou art ready to collect thy reward. I will. Anything else? I want to collect my reward, ゚Secret. And what overhears thou? What does it really do in this place? I already know. Where is Astron? I don't think he knows. Astron went to the Green Mountain and they're the people. What do you guys really do in this place? Okay. If there's anything more to say... He waits with an unpleasant smile. Where is Astron? I don't know, he shrugs. I could offer thee the last place he asked me about, a place away from our roads. If you mean the tribe of the Green Mountain, I already know about it. Thou's now, it's a dangerous place. Does thou's now, it's a dangerous place. Be wise to abandon thy thoughts. Ah, this is the question you wanted me to ask. Okay, I ask every other question, not this one. It's fine. They will soon become more than a rumor, than a legend. But against their will, the tribe has been torn away from its soul centuries ago. Now aims to be lost to the world, not unlike a few monks I met. He looks around with a shadow of a smile. Ride east, far east, find a bridge that's between the watchtower and the tavern. Speech becomes slow, seeking the almost forgotten memory. Move east from there, upstream. We'll get there to their mountain. At their foot is a large statue. Then the path uphill, follow it. Enter the cave mouth at the end, with no field or no garden. That's where they'd ought to find them. Can I spend the night here? He scoffs at you first, then ゚Q&A, who observes the sky carelessly. After a few silent heartbeats, he lets out a grunt. Maybe in the storehouse, but I don't think I'm going to look after thy horse or cook for thy. All thy canst get is a roof for thy head. That's already plenty, I appreciate it. Don't tell the others. Let's ask him this. With the plague gone, would you consider something trivial? We need to restore our supplies first. He glances at the nearby garden. Most of its fruit and leaves have already been plucked, but there's something I can offer thee. Bring me a cavia, a mushroom that grows in humid chambers underground. These snakes, bats, and orange fowl from the deep woods, and some smokes for pleasure. On their own, they're poisonous. Together, even more so. He snorts, but I can turn into a dust that sharpens one's senses. Good for combat, he cracks his knuckles. And one night I can prepare 3 doses or so, but use them with care. Once the pandemonia is loosened, they will weaken your soul. Did I get another quest from that? I don't think I did. No, I did not. So, I have the mushroom. I have the mushroom already. But I don't have the snake's bite lower. So snake's bite lower is an orange flower from the deep woods, so it's heart of the forest. Okay. This is where I am. I think these guys have a sword I need to buy. Time is it? This is gonna take me 2 hours and then I have to get back up. I should have plenty of time. I need to get back up here. I mean here. Back to the Elder we go. The shiny Emperor's carp with its orange and golden scales swims near the shore, hoping to get some tasty scraps of bread. The old man is sitting on the wooden stool between the gun beds, weaning. The tall plants are resting in a small basket. What do you need, traveler? Can you tell me about the Green Mountain tribe? He considers your question and finally looks at the sky, making his long hair fall on his back. Listen closely. I'm not going to say anything else. He takes a deep breath and turns towards the pond, observing the current. The road in the far east, one that is now abandoned, is showing the truth. Look for the brook bridge made of stone. On its north side, take east again. Go along the stream. It will be rough at first, but soon enough you will get to the game trail, then a mountain. Climb it to reach the village of the tribe of the Green Mountains, who follow traditions older than any of ours. This grim tribe avoids the outside worlds. Right followers have hurt them deeply. If you want them to share a stew with you, this is what you should tell. I am a freedom seeker. a friend of the Speaker of the Forest. Say these words like an unwanted guest looking for a roof. They do not want you there, but prove to them you are willing to listen, not just speak. He turns towards you. There's nothing else to say. What sort of weather do we expect tomorrow? It takes him a few moments to complete his ritual. The fogs will cover the dawn, if for not longer. Why don't you wear robes like the druids of the dell? I wear what I need, not therefore what is needed for me. He speaks with pride. My ancients knew such paths led to freedom. Not empty gestures, but honestly gratitude and tranquility. He looks towards the north. Those in the village are putting their hands into matters that fill empty hearts. Their clothes are but a costume, and no better than the dress of a merchant or a pretty rock thrown in a lake. Travel, it's 3 hours until dusk. We've gone around everywhere. Let's go down to Paddle the North. We've got stuck on the wrong side of the map. Everything's fine. After you enter the yard, the scent of burning flesh comes to you from the ground behind the inn. You ask what this is about, and when the guard shrugs, "No, the guy in the black jacket, his band was here, called him a traitor, chopped his head off, but we aren't having a shell roaming in the woods, you know." Okay, that might be my fault. I go to the innkeeper. Any leftovers? Not today, maybe tomorrow? I'd like to ask you about somebody. Tribe of the Green Mountains. I don't know about them. Okay, how about... Oh, wouldn't it be called like Ruin Village? No. I don't know about them. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Show me your wares. What are you selling? You sell the crossbow, but it's too expensive. We've also got food rations. Let's buy some rations. Can I sell you my crossbow bolts? No. Forget it. About Scully's band, he freezes, observes you, his hands closely. Silently, I bring him good news. I tell that the bandits only have one target right now. It's the necromancers of the White Marshes. You have nothing to worry about, at least when it comes to her. Hey, we finished it. He frowns in disbelief, asking you a few questions about what you've seen in her hideout. Before you finish the last answer, he empties an already prepared pouch. His gestures are impatient, but the amount of dragon bones matches his promise. You did what I asked, so these are yours now. We'll try to hunt in the north before fall, see if you are correct. Something worries you? He observes the floor for a bit, but finally waves off your question. The camp sounds like a well-protected place, and hidden in a dangerous spot. He raises his eyes. Though only for a moment. If you're wrong, we won't get them easily, but that's just a thought of mine. Sleep here. It's like 1 hour before dusk and I can't sleep. I approach the guards. There's some questions about this place. Thing to tell, there are beasts around, both wild game and dangerous monsters. We spend our time surrounded by these walls, leaving only to hunt, forage, or trade. There's an unusual tower. I'd expect it to be closer to the gate and shorter. Like in Halavan, fair. Like in Hallovan Fair, but it ain't here to protect the gate. This stronghold was built long before we moved in. Not to fight off humans, the tower was meant to be used by those who observe the deep forest. We look out for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking to roast on the roof. She nods towards a man who is indeed completely boldly, she nods towards a man who is indeed completely bald, has a great eye and sees well in darkness. Oh dear. Your group seems to be quite attracted to this boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar head, but it steps away and squeals as if somebody is murdering it. It comes with us from the city, just in case. We have no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works. Too, cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased smile. We don't need to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly. Most of kind of like enixes, but it's not such a wild, dangerous beast. But we won't let it get closer to any other animals or children. Have you heard anything about necromancers? It's something new, her voice slows to a whisper. I've never been to the White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from there, south. They told us that the place has changed too much. A priest died, I think, and a new one's awaking the dead. Sorry, RoadWarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we can sell or eat. If there's partridge, a squirrel, or maybe a rat, we won't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers, artichokes are delicious, but we aren't always looking for taste alone. There's values in bones, antlers, and claws, tusks. Things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at the ground, looks at a strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks again. And we look for fur, of course. Any interesting creatures living nearby? There, everything lives there. Here, everything lives here. She flips her hair. I swear, we saw a few dragons, a unicorn family, a battle between trolls and goblins, faced 2 beastmen and a gargoyle, and a hunting queen shouts all the time. I could tell you all about them, but I won't. She winks and pats the boar on its head. You know, hunters have their secrets. What can I find north of here? Sorry, we don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home, sometimes move east or west to Hallisdell, but only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need since then take west the coast. She takes a long breath, twisting her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never ever seen a beach. I've been living here for so many more than 10 years now. She giggles. The only part of the sea I've ever seen was old Pagus, which is placed on a hill. I never put a toe in salty water. She looks towards an Elantris, who confirms that her experience is the same. But old Pagus is a good place. As long as you don't mock their order and act nice, they'd also be kind. Boss says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Thanks. Looking for knowledge about wild creatures. 15 dragon bats. What? Do you know it under the east light? Kinda. She gives you an unconvinced smile. I know they grow more like humans like the older they get. I think they don't need light, they just want it. Like when you put on clothes and then take trinkets for those they'd kill. wash my shell. You splash water on yourself with a cold from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the talon and sweat from your skin or moldy stains from your clothes. I am kind of looking nice. They won't talk to me. You can go to sleep. Sleep on a bench. Nice. Sleep in a room. We have a lot of money. Let's sleep in a room. The shivers wake you up. You hear the hunters leaving the building. You look through the window, but the fog is so dense you hardly see the wall around you. Still, they are being patrolled by the night shift, which places torches and carries lanterns. I sleep. I wake up again. Oh, what is this dream? You're in the labyrinth of an alley in steep house, which shifts after every step. You wander by the blooming gardens, burning houses, laughing newlyweds, cut-off limbs, fresh hair pies, chewed bones, carts loaded with barrels and falling trees. You step at a table in front of Alp's Inn, surrounded by laughing skeletons. Parius, naked and covered in blood and ashes, holds your hand, forcing you to stuff your mouth with raw meat from a bottomless bowl. Every bite tastes like the metal of an old key. It burns your mouth, but you can't scream. The unyielding grass brings pain and delight in equal measure, and you wouldn't dare to try to escape. The smoke coming from your roasting flesh starts to fill your eyes, but they have no tears to spare. You wake up reaching for the water skin so you can rinse the ashes from your hands. It takes you a few heartbeats before you realize where you are. What the flip? What? Those monsters, if there was ever justice in the world, they'd face great punishment. The villagers wouldn't have agreed to it if they knew that what was to come. Tarius lied to them. She was the one who bears the responsibility. I only see one side of the story. I'm pretty sure the people... Another dream. I go back to sleep. I think she's lying to everybody. Because the druids in the place don't seem disturbed by her. I should go ask them about it, those druids. The small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath and rest on a soft mattress, looking through the window, enjoying the moments of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aerobic breakfast, baked artichokes with a weird but tasty roasted lizard. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting fire into the stoves. He asks you if you need anything. What was your wares again? I forgot. Okay. Let's get more food, because that's good. So do I have anything you want to buy? You want to buy that? Okay. That's all I need. I go outside. Let's travel. Oh, yay. Fine, we'll go to them. Let's check my journal to see. Find RoadWarden, Bron rods. You do that at night. I want to construct traps, but I don't know. That's grayed out. Hidden village. Missing hunters. I need to... This guy won't trust me enough. I need a spy mode. I need to go there. So I have to go ask them. She's not gonna like me. She already hates me. They're gonna attack me every time I go through that village. Oh dear. Let's go to Hallersdale. We gossip for a bit. The locals gather and take part in conversation. 3 kids have a pretty severe fever, but the druids have managed to keep it under control. I'm not giving you money. I fill the trough from the creek and make sure Reginald's comfortable. Let's go talk to... I need to decide what to do with what I've learned about. You're standing in the middle of the islet, taking a good view at the village. The locals following their daily routines. Children are playing tag. The trees are turning golden brown. You listen to the humming creek and a singing old woman. You can see what's beneath all that, a home to raiders who led dozens of humans to their death. You decide to act. You'll only have one shot at this. Starting a storm without a firm support of the locals would paint you as a threat. If Thalos would be able to keep her power despite her deeds, she surely has strong support. She may not yield even if you open confidently. I already did my part. I'm going to report everything to city officials, let them decide. I want to do my best to weaken the mayor's positions. The druids might help me with that. You think of your previous conversation with Alpheus. While she is surely respected in the village and seems to have unusual talents, so far her attitude towards the mayor has been rather timid. Unless you present a good case to make her turn against Thaddeus, she'll doubt she's going to keep the conversation a secret. Let's save and try. Everybody's gonna hate me in the village anyway. Let's hope she listens to her reason. After spending some time, the two of you are wandering in the forest gardens. The thumping of the druid's staff as she walks disappears in the overwhelming noise. A few hunters and other druids are on the verge of sight, looking for a beast. She breaks the silence. Why do you want to speak of the steep house? Before you left the village, the suspicious look of guards convinced you the mayor already knows about your stroll. Thaddeus is both ambitious and cruel. I won't allow her to hurt other tribes. It's time for Druids to restore order in the village. She doesn't need to go anymore. Well, she's ambiguous and she's cruel, she's killing everybody. Number 1 or number 2? I won't allow her to hurt the other tribes. We not choose our leaders through violence nor aggressions, but through the votes of our neighbors. She is trusted by others, for she already makes our lives orderly, easier than they used to be. She reaches for a rotten apple. From the branches which it hangs suddenly dry out. My gathering seeks my power. I do not know what you expect to hear. You keep following the many beaten trails. Bright spar woods are nothing like those you've seen in other parts of the peninsula. I'm listening. Roll of the dice. You must admit what has happened in the village is terrible. Do you really believe Faust can stay, that she won't cause any... She seconds her pace. I must. I know the druids played a role in the page. And the fields are cursed to this day. As the gathering, we not agree to the raid, but we agree to protect our children, siblings, not cousins, during their strike. With Pamnonia and advice. Long pause. After we breached the walls, Palia forced us to keep pushing. Some elders were hurt, others caved in. Her voice cracked. Does your gathering regret helping her? Now you have the opportunity to fix your mistakes. Not at all, she said harshly. The dead will not return. Their homes are but a bird's nest. We ought to stay in shame, yet be of use. Redemption will never come, but we have to climb higher. Do you really believe she won't cause any further harm? She stops and observes the carcass of a hedgehog. Judging by the tracks, it was butchered by a badger. It may be true that, so far, you have not added fuel to her plans. She crouches slowly, giving the shell a close look. Ants, she says, and steps around. My neighbors gathered a lot from her past choices. My judgment means a lot to them. But she shows she will protect us, even if the price is too high. We've already talked about her. You know how impulsive she gets. Aren't you worried about the future of your gatherings? You grow in comfort. From what I've seen, you are detached from the teaching you've shared with me. The ones I've heard from the Let's insult them. Insulting them seems fine, right? So, thank you for the sub. I don't know who subbed, but thank you. And for the 3 likes. I don't know who gave that. I'm gonna guess one of them started with a Wade. Okay. Thank you guys for that. Already talked about her, you know how impulsive she gets. There must be someone else who can leave your tribe. I'd rather not wait until it's too late, but as you wish. I'm too worried about the future of your gatherings. You grow in comfort, but from what I've seen, you're detached from the teaching or the ones I've heard of from the RoadWarden. Let's insult them. We pay close attention to the teachings of our ancestors. Not are now too proud to see the seasons are not the same as they used to be. Animals and come go. Some packs are broken. New tribes moved in. Our village is bound to change as well, and we would be blind to see our teaching would never have to grow. She stops and looks back in the directions of Howlers, though you see only the tree and the shrubs. 'Tis true that these changes occur too fast for my heart. Yeah, yet she trusts for her wit and her talent, interrupted by a screeching bird. She seeks it among the trees. The Thalus you met is sharpened by many sorrows, but her laughter has not always been as dead as it is now. Many of us owe her our lives, and since our gathering promised to not interfere with the choice of our neighbors, we took a step back. Even when we realized her demeanor hides cruelty and stubbornness, none souls dare to oppose us now. How did she become mayor in the first place? Her parents were adventurers. They stayed with us after a few grand journeys, bought many travelers sacks of dragon rings. Realizing the illness of her weakened shell, they wanted her a life of comfort, without bloodshed. While others dug in soils or trained with spears, they taught her how to count and read, then sent her with a caravan to Halavan. Used their ties to squeeze her into the guild, but the war disrupted her learning. She returned and said she wanted to protect us from the Southerners, as long as we trusted her. And she did. With poison and betrayal, But she saved us all. Your inaction helped her plan bloom. It's time to do something about the responsibilities that you carry. She was ready to protect you in desperate days, I get it, but now her decisions can only bring destructions. You do need to find another way. Her steps grow more confident as she nods in agreement. I think we're making good progress, ? I'll do a quick save. Your mother smells of elderberries. That's an insult. Is it really? Isn't elderberry smelling nice? Reginald likes it. Reginald? What's Reginald doing out and about? Reginald should be here. I saved, right? Let's save again, and I'm gonna roll the dice. She stops in place and turns towards you, holding her staff by her side. Her eyes are cold like gentle rain. I'm not so sure, traveler. You find no words to add, so you carry on with your walk. We try one last time. Okay, she doesn't trust me enough, that's fine. Okay, what's your decision? Will you speak with the others? You approach a giant oak, older than any other trees in the garden. It's surrounded by trails of shoes and paws, yet it's oddly quiet, even though there are dozens of birds in its crown, spreading amongst the branches like the faithful on temple paws. Pews. Elphys reaches for the long claw mark on the bark. She touches them with a palm and a hand gently, then scratches them with her fingernails, adding a few more cuts, fresh and dripping with sap. The birds, still without as much as a caw, take off loudly, maybe hundreds of them at once, in such a panic that a few of them crash into branches or one another. Before you could take a step closer, look, your companion moves her staff in front of you, then nods for you to follow her away from the tree. You glance at the claw marks once more, worms already starting to rush towards them. After another minute of the stroll, the woman speaks again. I cannot help you. It would be better for you to stay away from howlers from this day on. Taras is not kind to our enemies. We could not keep this between us. Not be naive, she says with pity. You think she does not know why you came to see me? There's no one else here. She raises her weapon and points at one of the scouts, as wearing a spell to hear us. She'll ask me, and I will not lie to her. Nice. Your steps are heavy as you look around. Not only would you not escape the scout and the hunters, your mounted equipment is still near village. You try to come up with a new agreement, a point of view, to remind yourself of something you've seen in the ruins. Soon after, let's go fight the entire village. Soon after entering the gates, you're welcomed by 5 guards, led by the mayor herself. You have something to tell me. Forest speaker, she asks your companion and spares you little more than a disdainful chuckle. You're led into our cell and placed on a chair with a muscular hand keeping you in place. Alphys hides nothing, not even her own willingness to listen to your accusations. You follow the guards' faces. No matter what they hear, they obediently observe their boss, putting their trust in her decisions. Finally, the first kick reaches your stomach. You can't even tell which word or gesture led to it, but it's soon followed by a hit in the jaw. Go, tell the druids who leaves without a word. Can we fight them? Can we fight them, Wade? What would that be like? Oh my word. We can try to fight. I mean, I'm already being held down. They're already gonna hate us. I already hate them. I already do hate them. I say nothing. Nice. The beating is short but effective. The blood from your mouth covers your clothes. Your ribs ache at every move. You're still a road warden, so I guess we ought to let you be. The mayor's voice is bored and carries not a hint of the city folk accent. Now get out and do not return unless you want to hamstily support our artisans. You place careful steps through the square, surrounded by whispers and worried looks. Your mount welcomes you with a healthy snort, but to you it sounds like mockery. Even Reginald is mocking me for that. That's funny. At least I'm still alive and I didn't have to fight the entire village. Tasting iron, you wash your mouth and think of the last smirk formed on Thal's face. She said, I won. Well, what shall we do? We shall continue. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go, because I hard saved, didn't I? I forgot how to work everything. Everything's fine. Yeah, that was before. Let's save here. We can have one before it, one after it. And then we shall return. Let's just carry on because we've made our decision already. If I want to go back sometime, I probably will to see if there's any way to get out of that situation. Let's travel. Where am I? I'm here. It'll take 2 hours to get there. I don't remember where I left my fishing trap. Do I still have my fishing trap? I may have not left it anyway. Let's go to place a fishing trap. You prepare your axe, hearing a suspicious rustling coming from the meadows, but whatever was behind it is now running away from you. The howlers are spread on the branches. As you get closer, they flee through the tall grasses. Only a few stay nearby. You observing you with a mixture of... I don't have a fishing thingy? I thought I did. Oopsie. List of fishing traps you've already set up. Where is it? Southeast turn. Okay, I don't know where that is. I'm not gonna find it. Let's go to this guy and let's go in. What can you sell me? I think I need to reload. I just remembered something very bad. I think I need to load. I think I need to load and not do that. Yes, I need to load because I need the sword, and the sword's at Hallersdale. I'm pretty sure it's at Hallersdale. If it's not, I can load the other save, but I'm pretty sure the sword's at Hallersdale. It's like that haunting feeling you get. We gossip for a bit. Into the village. Oh, okay. I give him money. I go to the main square. Trader's not around. I sit and wait for him at the table. Yeah, because I can ask him about the orange tulips as well. So let's not do that. Reginald can still mock me, it's fine, but let's not do that. Hold on. I can show you this. I don't know where I got it from. I didn't know if I was even carrying it. I forgot if I was from my source in the creeks. You do not say! His long fingers brush the hairs of the dead creatures. They're learning. We bought fur from the pelt, maybe 5 rings. How much money do I have? I've got 22. Forget it. Do you guys have the sword? No, you don't. Okay. I thought these guys had the sword. Where's the sword that I need for the bush? This is my annoyance. Oh dear. Word about some useful herbs, ointments. Do you have druids around? I'm looking for a flower that looks like orange tulips, much larger leaves. I'll ask at Ben's. Her wife has some of these. A few moments, he brings you a clay pot with a plant no larger than your hand. It's a single flower and a couple of healing leaves. Back in spring, Ariston asked us to grow them, but he's no longer around, and that little stinker, Eva, their presence annoys me now. 3 dragon bones, and I'll give them what's above the ground. Maybe they'll grow again. You ask him what he knows about it. He picks it up to look at it closely, as if it's his first time seeing it. Well, the forest speaker from the South Cave told me it's a herb for potions. Snake bite, he said. It lures serpents. I'm not sure, which is pleasure in taste, I think. Here, have 3 dragon bones. He knocks on the countertop with his long fingers. You not just avoid them, I guess. With a raised eyebrow, he reaches for a yellow candle and plays with it with his long fingers. You know, they eat plants, not meat. They shouldn't be too dangerous for a warden with a mouse. Lend me your axe. He cuts off a few chunks of wax, removes the wick, and gives them to you. Here. Roll them in your hands, warm them up, make a shape you want. Oh. Okay. So who has the sword then? I know somebody has a sword, and I can't figure out who. Give me the sword. Okay. Let's check my inventory, because you guys still like me. Yay, we haven't made everybody hate us. I want to get rid of these, but I don't know where. Okay, nothing for now. I walk away. Most of my stuff that I have to do is in White Marshes, I think. Well, let's talk to the druids. We whisper, make sure that none of the workers can hear me. Okay, so I'm just reading up on some stuff for it. Let's quick save and tell them about the hamlet. She smiles gently, then steps back and bows deeply. Seeing this, the nearby druids lower their heads. The others may not know it yet, but you've chosen their safety over their greed. Your kind heart will be remembered. Farewell. Okay, hopefully they like me more now. Apparently I can ask the bandits about this though, which is nice. Good luck. I can offer my services. And then we'll travel up. It turns out you didn't have much to do. You got your job done quickly with little difficulty. Okay, quick save. Travel. I wonder if I can ask him, but I don't know how long. 3 hours currently. 7 for dusk. Let's quick save and we'll travel down. I want to ask everybody about it. Let me just ask everybody about the thing. Maybe he'll know. He welcomes you with a sigh. What do you need, traveler? I've shown the snake bite. What can you tell me about this? He needs only to breathe to recognize it. Ah, snake bite. He leans in closer. 'Tis not that rare. Not many people need it. You learn that it's infamous for its alleged power to lure serpents and salamanders. Only consumed in moderation, it makes the shell more responsive to stimulus, makes periods of sleeplessness easier to bear. Juice from a single leaf is enough to induce hallucinations or addicting senses of dreamlike emporia. Making a large dose at once or small doses too often leads to fatality or death. I know weather are we expecting tomorrow. It takes him a few moments to complete his ritual. The winds will be gentle, but the light can't hide behind the clouds. Okay, let's travel again. Let's go to these guys. Okay, now I can go to the other guy. White eagle circles around you, but leaves before you reach the monastery. You spot a few hooded figures by the brook. A loud thumping of tools coming from the cave mount echoes through the valley. He welcomes you. Here, the mushroom and the snake bite. He reaches for them, then blinks and steps away. After a few moments, he brings an empty bucket and tells you to put the ingredients inside. Fine. The sharpened poison will be ready after sunrise. Will the prt agree to meet with me? Your justice is. The time is right. Follow me into the temple. It won't take long. You join Ali in front of the entrance. You run your eyes over the harsh grey floor sparingly covered by tufts of grass and mushrooms. Only a few steps separate you from darkness. So Discord going off. Interesting. You take a wrong step and I will break thy neck. His quiet voice echoes through the corridors, but there is also other sounds reaching you from the deep. The repetitive hitting of hammers and chisels, as well as a distant pickaxe. The man doesn't look at you. The man doesn't look at you. Hand on my shoulder, don't let go. I touch his shoulder gently. You leave the light behind you as your pace slows down. The leaker's steps are followed by the sweeping sound of her robe. For a few breaths your heel reaches the solid rock, then moves into wooden logs. The echoes of occasional creaks is worthy of a wrath. You grasp as well when you stumble over a rope, but Ali's confident hand saves you from falling to the floor. After a moment or two, you get used to the scent of soggy beams. The gentle draft makes you think of a stream, and you focus your ears. The humming of water is weak, but once noticed, unmistakable. Counting your steps leads you to nothing. You don't make any sharp turns following the rounded corridor. At one point, the monk grabs your free fingers and makes you touch the smooth wall. Watch your step, you hear the hoarse whisper. Then walk down the steps carefully. After another minute goes by, it happens again, and then again. Almost there, Ali stops in place. All I can do is wait. You realize the sound of him opening the bag. He turns your hand around, palm up, and covers it with a soft, cold balm. Put it on your eyelids. His voice is confident. It will help, but not for long. Don't walk away. You rub your eyelids, catching the scent of snow and talon candles. I look around. Wow, that's so cool. For a few heartbeats, the brightness is overwhelming, even after you cover your eyes, but the sensation fades away. Everything around you turns grey. The walls, your companions, even your skin are now momentums made of ash. The hollowed mountain has the shape of a cone. You step back away from the edge of the narrow wooden platform, only then to approach it and look down. The magic balm is strong. It allows you to spot maybe 24 layers of scaffolding. You spot another hooded figure a couple of floors below you. It holds a chisel against the wall. Hitting it with a hammer, their confident hands maintain the tiring rhythm. I inspect the engravings. You can't tell their age, but the cut is deep. They are lettered, larger than your hand. Some of them are filled with old and dry paint, although to you, like everything else, it looks grey. Read it out loud. You hear a voice coming from your left, not much louder than the distant humming of water. I look towards the one who spoke. I don't know how. Few travellers can, their voice is like a dying breath, but then shifts, resembling an orient delivered by a priest. They hear of these ardent deeds and believe her, for her soul carries no lies. They follow her north like the right has told her, and build houses of wood in the land of 3 lakes. The right torched Thara, new tools, new traps, and her children and grandchildren have never seen hunger, but their lands were tamed. The person in a monk robe is sitting on a bench, covering themselves with a headless pelt. They are short, wrinkled, skinny, as if they haven't eaten in years, but they sit still, with their head leaning against the wall and eyes closed, and hands folded. Dost thou know what these words are? It's from the right tablets, I think. They have the ancient accent of Halavan elders, but their lips struggle to utter any sound. Well done. We're on the 2nd floor of the Trial of Leaves. The trial started as foragers and fruit pickers, too afraid to hunt. Tribe of Leaves. The tribe started as foragers and fruit pickers, too afraid to hunt, with no face to guide them outside of their cave. But the right inspired them with the truth of what they were and what they could become. They helped Adu build one of the 10 cities, and their blood and memory now remains in each of us. I'm exhausted. Their breath remained silent, but their chests started to rise and fall. I wanted thee to see this place. What is it exactly? One day these walls will hold all of the rights tablets, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 25. These ancient caves used to be covered by painting hands and beasts, but we scrapped the walls and clean, giving way to the truth. The palette raises his hands by an inch, but their voice remains monotonous. The work went slowly. We abandoned our goals, but then when the war torn the 10 cities to pieces, they squeezed, fighting for air. It made us realize how cruel our duty is. The parchment will burn, the wood covered will rot, gold plates will be stolen, but these caves last for more generations than we could. They will outlast every page, every teacher. They raise their voices. The library in stone will be here, ready to teach our offspring the stronghold of the truth. As long as their one soul can read Adder's tongue, there will be hope. A long pause, and Ali looks at you expectantly, rubbing his hands together, and Dahlia stares at you like an eagle. So why am I here? What exactly do you want me to do? One of us came here from the city 5 years ago. Told us many things about our home. The city lacks grain and wood and parchment. The unites grow poor. They raise their hand to wipe saliva from their mouths, taking longer and longer pauses. Thou art not here to ward the roads, but to prepare it for thy masters. Thou will bring death and pillage. Thou will stretch out hands, palms up, tell them about the library, that it needs their protection. That once we'll complete it, we'll give it away, just let old Pagus be in peace. Their hands lay on their stomachs, their chins rest on their chests. They are grasping for air. Protect this place. Fine, I'll pass your message along. I have no qualms with that. You can protect knowledge as much as you like. The palette nods gently, resting. Ali clears his throat. I think the in their names. Let's go back while the ointment is still working. He gestures for you to follow him, but seeing the world only in grey takes getting used to. Your pace steps carefully. You climb the steps on all fours. Nice. The monk continues. Last cast asked me about one of our secrets as a reward, but does not share what thou hast learned here with any other tribes. We ought to keep our secret. Our duty a secret. Fine. You move without a word, leaving behind the sounds of steps, hammers, and the stream. Your eyes loosen their sharpness slowly, but also restore their ability to perceive color. Before you reach the mouth of the cave, Ali lets you grab his shoulder again. After you're getting outside, you take a couple of deep breaths. The monk absently heads towards the storehouse, waiting for Dahlia to join him. When asked about the part of your sleep, she spares her companion a sad shrug. Finally, he meets your eyes and puts on a smile. That's all. Ask him to read the letter. Why not? You frown. The city's officials may not be... Can you read this for me? He gives it a hungry look and rubs his hand together. I mean it. It's sealed. I break it with a knife. He unrolls the scroll gently and has to keep the parchment close to his face, overcoming his weak eyes. An unusual shape of letters, but they are understandable. Some with initials and pictures, but the lines are even and quite shabby quill. Good ink. He observes the contents patiently, then starts to read out loud. Through his hoarse voice, forces him to make a few pauses. The letter is long, filled with boring official salutations. One of the parts directly contradicts what Thaddeus has told you, and even the monk narrowed his eyes, repeating the entire section. The benefits of our fathers are sacred to us, but depending on the proof of your goodwill, we will permit your monasteries to stay within our walls. I promise they'll be treated with the dignity they deserve. One part is also grabbing your attention. This piece of information is sensitive, but I trust you'll put it to good use. Gull Rocks, a village set near the northern shore, participates in trade with local bandits, led by their own Guardia. Their alliance grows strong and therefore could bring many threats to a potential collaboration. After he finishes, he returns the scroll to you. So this is how the stuff are in Howlers. Interesting, Warden. He adjusts his cloak and spares Dalkia a grateful nod, reaching for the cap of water she offers him. I don't look forward to seeing the priests of the United Church, nor their soldiers. Interesting. So that confirms some things. Let's travel again. And I not travel there. Okay. I've been rejected, everything's fine. Let's go paddle north and sleep the night. We have 1 hour almost left, so get off my horse and into the inn. Let's sleep. Sure. How much money do I have? 21. Let's return. Let's get some more rations. Show me your wares. We'll get more rations. Let's exit the inn and then travel. We'll go to the sorcerer. You take a short ride through the roads surrounding the tower. The benches, rocks and plants and bones are cleared. The trail evened out. In many spots you notice large prints left by boulders-like feet, and the enchantress has kept her word. One fly is feasting on a rotting corpse of a snake. That's on the side of the road. You touch the cold shell, the monster's eyes glows red. Go inside, I'll see you. Let's trade. You have Spirit Rock. I'm not selling gossip, nor am I buying it. I live in my house, my guards, my lake. I'm an artisan, not an innkeeper. If you need one, ride to the Pelt to the north. The innkeeper is stiff like a broom, but offers a nice room. Her voice is dripping with annoyance. Or if you'd rather visit a cheerful place, ride north to Foggy's Lake. Or is it Foggy's Lake? Whatever, Foggy is the innkeeper. At least she's not as boring as the other guy. I agree with you there. Let's travel a little bit. Let's go here. The old bridge. There's a spot where I can move east to the mountains. You don't see any easy way to move east. There is a path you could take. It's completely overgrown. The thorny bushes won't allow you to move without harm. Even if you do, you wouldn't leave Reginald behind. It will take a couple of hours, but I cut down some bushes with an axe to make a path for Reginald and me. Okay. The sun isn't harsh as long as beasts are not going to bother you. You can expect a fair bit of carefree labor. The thick gloves allow you to move or clean the thorny branches. You push the plants away, then cut right above the ground. The stems are healthy. The stems are healthy and flexible, but with enough time and determination, you manage to cut through and throw them aside one by one. After a few hours you feel hungry, but at least you've reached the game trail. I pack my things, sharpen the axe blade, and prepare for the rest of the journey. Reginald is peacefully chewing the grass, enjoying the sun on their back, ready to take a nap. There's no point, we move forward. It won't be wise to ride through a lush meadow. There are animal pits and mole holes. The ground is covered with old roots, rocks, and mounts. Putting more weight on Reginald could turn any stumble into a broken leg. He'll lead it by the reins. Keep looking around. Such lands are common hunting grounds for draglings or cats that sneak in the grasses. Finally, you reach a narrow trail. The rest of your journey will be easier. Let's follow it. The trail turns into a wider path, leads you to a rocky hill. Reginald quenches their thirst as you fill up your water skin. The trees by the road still bear signs of past trimming, giving the shadow to an old herbal patch, now overgrown. The vegetables were dug out by rabbits, and apples on the ground have already burned rotten. You glance at the cave's entrance and lets out a sigh at the sight of bones. You can hardly squeeze inside. Unfortunately, the path further is clear. I tether and approach the cave. You prepare a torch, rope, and your gloves. You can't get too far away without putting Reginald in danger, so you don't take any food. Better check if I go inside with my gabardine on. You should be able to squeeze in. A ghastly screech cuts the air. You step back, dropping a pile of equipment as the creature runs at you. I grab my axe. The monster looks like a furless, grey, wrinkled human with surprisingly long limbs. You see its bones as the skin hardly contains the guts. In the blink of an eye, it squeezes through the entrance, bending in a way that seems impossible to you. You disturb the lair of a corpse eater. I focus on dodging its charge. I jump away, taking my string. Slow down, crouch suddenly. I slowed down by cutting its legs. I crouch. No matter where. The creature jumps at you right away with its arms and legs spread out in a lethal hug. You're too slow to react. Its arms cling to your own, pushing them along your sides. The legs cling at your hips. You're barely standing straight as it instantly tears through your garrison on the back with its claws. Its terrible stench doesn't help you one bit. I ran at the rocks, crushing its shell. You let out a scream and charge at the wall, making the creature back hit it first. It lets out a terrified screech. Its grip weakens. You set yourself free. No more tricks. You barely take a breath and the creature's already dashing towards you. Take a swing at its back, but it's not only does it duck beneath your blade, its claws reach your abdomen. It pierces through your garrison, but it doesn't reach your flesh. It gives you enough time to return the blow. You send it into the ground with a deep wound, and it lands with a thud. Crying in pain, it crawls away, flaunting its ends in deep dread. I finish it off. You catch up with it as soon as it turns on its back. You sink the blade into its torso. Once, twice, more, until it stops moving. Its raised hand stays still for a moment, then reaches on the ground. The dark nails, longer than the rest of its hands, lay still. You breathe slowly. Your breath slows down. The carcass smells of unwashed sweat and rotting flesh. I take a closer look. The grey wrinkles resemble that of an old human. It's hairless and clinging tautly to the bones. especially the ribs. The torso is short, rectangular, the large eyes and lower long limbs resemble no other monster you've ever seen, not even an ape. You consider chopping the flesh shell further, but you don't know where to start. You've never ever seen somebody owning a gold trophy while putting it into a stew and poisoning an entire tavern. The red stained blood stinks like rotten eggs. You could collect some of the warm fluid. It's rare, might be valuable to an unusual soul. I fill it up. And carefully gather the poison. Reginald's afraid. I calm it down. Your palfrey is walking in pace, swishing its tail. You approach it slowly. Avoiding its panic, you show it the open palms of your hand and speak about some gentle nonsense. After a few moments, you step closer to touch its side. You reach for your sack of fresh plants and find an apple, which you cut in half. Your mount eats from your palm and lets out a relaxed snort. Return and burn the body. You spend some time gathering dried sticks and grasses, throw them on the corpse from as far as it takes to avoid the stench of the blood. You prepare the worst torch you have, set the oil on fire and add it to the small pile, then head to the stream to wash your cave. You sit down by the creek and wash yourself like a bathtub. Help you get cleaner. I wash my still carefully. It takes you a moment to do it all. I step away, and let's return to the cave. Hello and welcome back. The ceiling is short, but you can stand upright. The corridor leads to a deeper path of the flooded chamber, but unlike the corpse eater, you can't squeeze through. You spot no human skulls or limb amongst the bones, even though there are scraps of old moulded plants, tunics, as well as some odds and ends that belong to victims. A comb, an old wooden club, a hood, a leather belt. Thankfully, the corpse eater has cleaned up every scrap of flesh, and there's no stench of rotting meat. I search the area and look for anything valuable. You return to Reginald and unpack a candle and your tinderbox. Then you set it on the ground, prepare the flint and the cloth. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire strikers made of steel, but all you have left is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but enough to make a couple of sparks. You put on your gloves and look underneath the remains. Then into the corners. Your patience is rewarded once you spot a glimpse of one of the pools. In one of the pools, you pull it closer with a stick and find a knife with a broken blade made of steel. It carries no sign of rust, yet you consider throwing away, but the handle is made of a polished bone. It is engraved with the shape of creepers and a flower. You think about your conversation with the enchantress. This could belong to Adamon. It's likely still worth a coin or two. I take it outside. Okay, let's travel. It is 5 hours from dusk. Won't get there. I could probably get there. Let's keep going. The grand brown grey mountains are blocking the horizon. You doubt the path is going to reach the snow-covered peaks. Without trees and clouds blocking their view, you're like an ant approaching a fortress. I hope there are some branches for me to take a break from climbing. I wonder what kind of beasts are hiding amongst the rocks. Ooh, it's a statue. Unbodied keeper of the garden is still standing, with a dark cloak on its shoulder and eyeless face observing the woodlands. Their club, more than 3 times as tall as you are, is made of a single piece of rock. It could split you by simply collapsing. It could squash you without anyone's will. A set of stairs leading into convenient corridor-like cavern. The gentle wind carries no shouts nor stain of blood. I approach the statue. The statue's face has no features. The shell ends with the neck, revealing a dark space instead of torso. You lean closer and notice the courtiness of black and grey gritstone, and how bitter by time it is. Both the figure and the soul are stained with white cordia. Still, it's exquisite work. The weight of the giant doesn't rest on its club, but rather on the boots, which are cleverly attached to the cloak. Sooner or later something will break, most likely the arms. Without them, the statue wouldn't be able to hold its thing. Let's see if it reaches my action. Magica. I use my amulet to look for magic in the area. New entry, Sleeping Giant. You unpack the wooden spears, pleasantly smooth and light. The entire set fits in your palm of your hand. You place them in various spots. You begin the ritual, which after all you can do is wait. You let Reginald graze for a bit, making sure there are no monsters in your vicinity. When you return to collect your amulet, they differ from each other. The closer they were to the statue, the warmer they got, even if cloaked by shadow. Those placed on the statue's side beyond it are all cold, while the ones placed on the ground directly in front of it is as warm as your own skin. You shake the spears until they cool off, then hide them in your satchel. I try to wake it. What do? Sing? You hum a simple tune of the docks from Halloween. The statue remains silent. Okay, let's step away. Up to see. We'll go ask the enchantress about it. Let's travel again. Seeing how steep this part of the road gets, you dismount. It would be safer for you to get a bit tired now, then rush Reginald onto the verge of fatigue. You take a sip of water and start climbing. The road is windy and narrow, but it fits a single wagon if it wasn't for the sporadic rocks and boulders blocking the path. Some of the larger ones are resting just in the middle, and as you look above, you struggle to recognize where they're coming from. They were placed here on purpose. The strong winds and wind bridge connect to the rock ledge. The unusual territory. You can't pay attention to any of that now. A large creature, larger than a bear, steps away from its nest. It screeches at you. Though its sharp black talon, golden like eagle-like beak, it spreads its wings as wide as a barred gate. You stay in your saddle. I look at the spear. Examine the beast. The movements are deliberate and confident. It makes a tiger-like leap, then stands like a statue, while the brown and white yellow feathers cover the front half of its shell, are still dancing with the wind. The wings hinder your sight, as you can only spot a glimpse of the cat-like claws and the clay-like fur. Its large chest rises and falls. The noble griffin yellow eyes speak of only violence. Its carved beak is longer than your forearm, and the talons on its front claws are like sickles. You don't doubt that its cruel promise may not only be fulfilled, but are certain. A single human with but a simple blade and a few magic tricks will never survive crashing with a monstrosity of this size. You don't have any more time to mull over it. The beast leaps towards the face rocks. After it flaps its wings, a gust of wind brushes your hair. The wind, cold sweat, and altitude makes you want to seriously take off your cloak and put on some heavier clothes. At least Reginald doesn't seem to care. You take a deep breath. The path ahead seems gentler. There are no more trees. You're surrounded by grasses, pebbles, and sporadic bushes. Look down at the herbs gathering along the stream, the rustling leaves and the birds, large and small, flying above the forests of the peninsula. From here, everything seems calm. Too bad most people never catch such a view. It's just an illusion. I wish I could see all of it from the peak of the mountain. A large screech reaches you up from the path, where at the top of the cave you see a massive siren. Nice. I'm gonna die. I should probably save. Parallel's dark skin with a bit brighter stomach, orange stripes on its legs and eyebrows, as well as the tail, which is swinging left and right. The size of the monster makes you stop. Before you turn around, you realize there's a short woman riding on its back, dressed in a red gabardine and an iron helmet with green pants that blend with her mount. You can't see the details of her hair, but she's not attacking you just yet. Resting the blunt edge of the spear on the ground, her other hand holds the reins, attached to a bridle put on the monster's head, clamping its wide mouth. She raises her weapon in a gesture, speaks in a language that you've only heard used amongst the elders raised in distant villages. The old speech is almost forgotten outside of the most remote pagan tribes. All they have left is city tongue. I can't understand you. She stays still for a few breaths, then uses sounds she's clearly not used to say out loud. You're lost. During the following moments, you both try to get used to each other's speech, though sometimes you can't find any common ground, depending on the combination of city tongue and gestures. You explain you're heading to a village at the end of this path. She asks you if you have a message for the chief or the shaman, so say it to me. I need to speak with them myself. I'm the local RoadWarden. Even though she doesn't give any clear command to her mount, it takes a few steps forward, moving without needing to speed up quickly. After a confident leap, the beast lands on the canyon right above you, allowing the warrior to look at you closely. Rada, she says in city tongue, like Astron, 'tis city folk, you nod. What do Rada do, really? I protect travelers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. Look back at my last few days. I pretty much did everything. I just protect travelers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. You hear a monstrous roar coming from the mountain. The woman looks around with a raised spear, and then her eye reaches to your voice again. Her voice is strict. You'll find nothing for you here. We are seeking no traveler, no in touch. She pulls the reins and makes the siren turn around, then leaps away, up the path, staying on top. Something happening there, she shouts from a distance. Road's not safe. Come, we'll speak in the village. I tell Reginald to keep up with the beast. Haha, Reginald has to keep up. Can we name the griffin Peter? I mean, if you want. It'd probably kill me. But sure, we can name him Peter. Bits and bobs, I have too many things. There we go. Oh, you little... That's a lot of text. Can we name... Yes, we can name the Griffin Peter. That reminds me of somebody else named Peter Griffin. Interesting. But we can name we can name the Griffin Peter. There we go. You ride through the corridor of rock faces, led by the jumping Salarin. The woman in the helmet blows a loud horn, longer and thinner than a ram's, with enough power to cause an avalanche. And once you reach the massive wooden gates blocking the path, it's already open. A few people you've seen so far are well equipped, wearing heavy jackets, shields, steel weapons, though some of them seem a bit old. Your surroundings get more spacious, with small garden patches and stone sheds spread on both sides of the path. Riding by the onlookers, you enter a trot, then a walk. The locals pay as much attention to you as to your mount, commenting on your appearance in old speech. Unlike the guards, the workers are carrying simple tools, many of them made of bones and rocks. Their woolen, undyed outfits are appropriate for hard labor, worn, patched up, but also heavy, protecting their owners from the cold mountain winds. The one thing that differentiates them from one another is their headgear. Every person you see is wearing something on their head, mostly ear-covering handkerchiefs, vividly dyed, with embroidered patterns of leaves, flowers, and gems. They are sea folk, no doubt about it. They have long limbs, hardly any beards, and a few children you can see have uncovered hair, wavy and dense, yet their paleness is unusual, as if they spend little time outside. Your guide is nowhere to be seen, but so far no one has tried to stop you. I don't want to just trample over anybody. No, we don't want to do that, so I dismount. She awaits you at the cave mouth, where the teeth and tongue are so distant you doubt they were sharpened so without the village's influence. The crisp air carries the scent of late summer meadows. Aside from the discussions of farmers and guards, you hear the rumbling winds and the goating innexes, but the terraces and crops all around you are quiet, making you realize it's the first village you've seen in quite a while where there are no constant noises of humming water or of heavy labor. A safe place, but don't be here for long, you hear from your guide in her lack of city tongue. Although still much better than your old speech. She's not the only guard in sight. The spears, slings, and clubs are getting a bit more numerous for your taste. We'll need you not. She looks around, but a few people nod in agreement. Most of them are giving you puzzle looks. What's your gift for a chief and shaman? You realize she's more than 40. Even if she has a small stature, no one seems eager to replace her as a negotiator or question her authority. The accent of those in the chat in the distance is so dense you can't catch a word. And you bring your guided gift? She lets out a dishonest laugh. Why would they want to see ya? She tries to say something, but you can't understand it. After a few attempts, she picks up a small rock. Your problems. She keeps in front of her chest, then points at the mountain above you. Our lives. I show her my possessions. I need to hard sleep. Do any of these interest you? With a playful voice, she tries to tell you something complex, even asking her companions to help them translate, but finally gives you twing rare to us, a good blade, good drink, spices. Try and look for Ariston. She gives you a grim look. Our shaman too, but I can't talk about it. Is there something I could do for you instead? No, she scoffs, but seeing your expression, continues with a serious look of her own. Mountains will kill you. You need years to learn them. 'Tis the teasing of woodlands are not what to us. Don't dare to say we need of city folk. I think I'm gonna have to give them the casket of ale. Yay! Sure. You explain what the contents are, but since the word cider seems to mean nothing to locals, you call it sweet apple beer, pointing at the tree behind you. A few of the locals are greatly interested in taking a whisk, but you try to explain that it's not possible, since it might spoil soon. After a short debate, the silent rider admits, We drink water and milk, not beers. 'Tis gift is fine. Very well, take it. She gives you a few minutes to pack up your belongings. Let your beast stay, 'tis grass. She pats its sides. It's safe here. You tether Reginald to a tree, keeping it away from most of the garden patches. You head to the cave mouth. The corridor gets darker and goes down and gets darker after only a few steps. But seeing how often the locals go through it without any source of light, you doubt there's going to be any treacherous steps ahead of you. Until I trip over. Peter Griffin, Family Guy. Ah, I thought so. I was like, there is a reference that you're trying to make here. Everything is going to be a reference. It will be fine. Ah, yes. Though I've never really watched Family Guy, I've heard about it as much as I know. Still, your guide leaves the shed with a lantern made of old brass, with the windows engraved with dragon wings circling around the erupting volcano. You stay close to her. The tongue sticking out of the entrance doesn't go on for long. Sometime you descend gently, then enter a set of spiraling stairs. Once you reach the bottom, you find yourself in a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, some of them sunken in the darkness, others lit by campfires, with smoke leading them through holes in the ceiling. Separating amongst them are dozens of children and elders, but also workbenches and other spots worked by adults, some of them too busy to even spare your look. There are woodworkers, water carriers, potters, flour millers, cooks. You hardly notice how stuffy the air is down here. Seeing the constantly spacious corridors, conveniently wide enough for even an obese shell to squeeze through them, you can't tell how many, if any, of these passages were not made by human hands. The entire walk takes you only a few moments, but the sheer amount of rooms you walk by makes you lose your way many times before you reach a short path leading to a bright, warm chamber, to which the silent rider invites you with a gesture. You smell smoke and humidity, but as you listen, the humming of the stream reaches you from the below, much louder as the cries of an infant, amplified by an echo. I put away my lantern and enter the chamber. The simple huts are short enough for you to see their hide-covered roofs from above. As you look at the ceiling, there's no water dripping on them. They don't offer much privacy either, even if the entrance were covered with a curtain. The gaps between the bones let you peek inside, as if they'll one day collapse here from the surface, losing their purpose but remaining as a relic of the old way of living. While the huts are only filled with fur and a few pieces of clothing, the chamber is far from empty. A few women, some of them very young, some in their 30s and 40s, are sitting around the campfire. They're feeding infants or playing with toddlers. There's a man stretching a piece of leather on a tanning rack. You hear the splashes of water coming from a corner. When your eye lands on two people sitting in a circle of wooden stumps, their glances make your destination clear. I step closer. They're sitting a few steps away from each other. As you you're invited to sit down. The three of you form a triangle. The air is heavy, but you smell no sweat or dirt, aside from the crying of children and the echoes of distant playing of conversations. The dancing light and crackling wood are no less cozy than an inn in the evening. The man in his 40s is leaning forward, resting his elbow on his thighs, more like a tired guard than a distinguished ruler. He is dressed just as heavy as the people you saw on the surface, but the fabric of his clothes is so dark blue that it's almost black. He is barefoot, and you wonder if that's enough to not make him sweat under the layer of wool. His helmet and shield and sword are resting on the ground, his long grey hair freely surrounding his face, which is covered with wrinkles and scars. Some beasts were lucky enough to leave a mark deeper than that. The man's nose is missing, leaving a disfigured hole. The woman could be 25, with absent eyes that are roaming over your outfit, equipment, face, and hands. She's dressed much more humbly than the man. Her tunic and pants are undyed, and is short enough to reveal her cleaves and forearms. She has unevenly cut short black hair, and a yellow handkerchief that is hanging around her neck, lazily thrown over her back. The legs are stretched out in front of her, resting on the heel of her sandals, and swaying left and right. Spread just above an unfolded sack covered with gemstones, pebbles, and animal bones. She keeps her hands on the nearest trunk, desperate for something to support her back. Both of them are unusually pale, and the woman almost looks sick. I introduce myself. We heard that you know what of our tongue, says the elder with a firm look, but we've talked with the city folk more than are wanted. And our shaman, he looks at the young person in light outfit, I tells her what I knew, but she little of it the way you sound. Let her practice. She frowns, waves her hand in front of her nose as if there's a fly. Hello. Her voice is both delicate and annoying. Shaman Garia, she struggles to utter. The man stares at you, speaking more confidently, with a greater familiarity of the sound you use. I am Sapras. 'Tis chief of the tribe of the Green Mountain. Your gift about you our time, but we are busy lives. I try to use their dialect. Who sent you, Ren? Speak softly, no one. As RoadWarden, I wanted to make sure you didn't need my help. My curiosity, he smiled. Gally chuckles and moves one of the orange gems with her foot. Fam, like topaz. To take you so far, ask, and we'll speak. I'm trying to find Ariston. He was here a few times. With each word, Husky's voice gets quieter, as if he's not sure how to continue. We helped him, for he gave us a grand promise, and a sign of his trustworthiness about back soul. 'Twas has to be lost in the woods, but it has almost been a season since we've seen him. What kind of person is Ariston? A shell lost on its path to nowhere. Gallia stares into your eyes. A soul torn by its dreams. A word spoken to no one. The chief frowns but doesn't add anything. The Salaman I saw outside belongs to me. As correct. Ceres' approving eyes contrast with the threatening look of his nose, and his voice is warm. Wherever he is heading was no place for a beast that doesn't swim well, and so he asked us to look after it. And also he was afraid of unicorns. After you mention you doubt having few teeth would help someone else with such a monster, Gardy chuckles, then bites on her lower lip, showing her unusual long canines, her teeth. You'd like to cut his skin of the spirit of havoc. City folk tis his unicorns are but a banting ram. Yet I our own soul carriers, led to judgment, not to anger. Tis he grasses and shrubs, not flesh. And then when not right, leaves, listen to them, tales and prayers. The chief nods. It was wise of him not to take it with him. A bloodthirsty Sauron. It wouldn't learn when to bow, for it trusted only its own muscles and fears. Where did Arsene go? Caprin runs his Estine over you. To a place that doesn't need yet another city folk. Old Pagus, a village opposite of the peninsula, is attacked by a plague. He glances at you and he glances at the puzzled shaman and says a few words in old speech, causing her to grasp and switch positions a few of the bones, and he looks at you. Terrible. But we can't do nothing. They have to endure it, and we're not risking beating their air. Alia nods in agreement, even though there's sadness to her voice. Souls and tribes come and go. But the woods are about for 10 years now. We have to let the lowlanders keep to themselves. 10 years, you say? Tell me about your village. The shaman leans forward and smiles. The fire plays with her shadow and how, in your tongue, 'tis crossing our tunnels, or floundering our fields, or battling the snowcats, or making a cup bowl with our elders. She gestures for you to take a glance at the huts of spears and the rocks beneath her. We have our own season, trades, and legends. Spirits guide us through our dreams, and under children learn stories older than emperors. As she grows more passionate with every word, the chief observes her with a smile. He reaches for his sword, observing the dark scarabard covered with a fancy pattern of squares. If we were the tribe of the 10 cities you'd like to hear at, which we dug at for ore, grow crops, hunt, lack of something, we have others in abundance, but we accept what we got, and won't open our gates to no merchants of blood we can't trust. I say both of them up. Be more green? We are of it, but on it, Carlos gestures to the flames, 'tis green mountains as highlands. Gallia's voice becomes melodic, even though she pauses when she says a few of the more unique words out loud. 'Tis volcano in the very center. Around it, our fields were grown like you could put in no other soil, not. Every few life cycles lava turns to ash, to woods that it feeds. As ash gives birth to sweeter fruit and heavier grain. What do you guys think about Halavan? We don't. Kalpra's voice is cold, and Gallia chips in. She hands you a soft, though heavy pouch. Inside you find a collection of a dozen red crystals, each one smaller than a game dice. City Kalpras plagued our homelands for years, saying they would stop once we agreed to pay the yearly tribute, and murdered us, and touched our harbours and our crops, for we held the island before them, and we prayed to different spirits. You reach the pouch, asking what's the meaning behind it. The shamans of the old made a tomb with one rock for each soul lost to the 10 cities, and bowed them here to help us remember. Do you need any help? Do we look as if we need one's help? You see a crack in our walls that can't be sealed with your blood, or monsters you can sink to sleep. Gallia reaches for 2 green stones and places them on the edge of the fabric, side by side. Don't get angry. Her voice is so close to a whisper. It seems to ease the R in the chief's glance right away. When she looks at you, she keeps her hands in front of her, palms up. Does your soul speak of pride or of care? I can't see it, but we're good as it is, and trust you to trust our mounts to ask for us if we need them to. You sell? The chief scoffs. Why do you think something we all want? We don't have dragon bones, don't trade, we need what we have. We have the shaman chips in, then pauses, frowning. She says something in old speech and Calpius nods. You mean horns, he says, then looks at you again. We could barter for it. Our guards and scout use horns for many beasts, but there's one type we don't use anymore. The war horn. Galia adds ominously. Roars like a dragon. Chief smirks. Ah, right. Most beasts flee when they hear it, but can't show you how it sounds here. We'd go deaf. Can I see it at least? For a moment, somebody brings you a horn. We can try bartering. I don't have anything to offer to them, okay. Who makes the decision in the village? The chief or the shaman? The village decides for the village, Capris smiles. In the village, the chief worries about the things for the day. A shaman worries about the things for the past and tomorrow. Galia looks at him with respect. For there are harvests of the seasons, she says solemnly. What's wrong, Wade? Are you okay? Wait a second. Are you okay, Wade? Why are you giving me that face? Did I say something interesting? Did I swear accidentally? I'm trying to not say swear words. There's a few of them, though. And it tastes like ashes without memories and hope. She points at the bones and pebbles beneath her feet, as if they're meant to explain it all. A quiet tune plays from the opposite end of the chamber, in an attempt to calm a crying child. No more questions. They don't tell me. Okay, we send out farewell. Oh, Forbidden Islands. You've found enough clues to believe that Ariston travelled to the highlands, northwest of the peninsula, and hasn't been seen since. As far as you know, almost nothing about this place in Deus, the locals. You've gone everywhere for this guy. The Salon Rider helps you leave the caves. The sunlight and crisp air are welcome in change. I'm trying to find out were they around. She repeats your question, then translates it to an armored villager to her left and right. After they shake their heads, she meets your eyes with a confident nod. Not in years. I need to sleep. She looks away, speaks with her neighbors, making you wait in silence, then she gestures for you to follow her to the shed, just a few steps behind you. Draws aside the curtain covering the entrance. The room is filled with sacks, old barrels, and bones made of tools. You'll sleep here. Leave the beast there. She points at the main path. We'll guard it. The village is safe. Soon after, a few of the farmers bring a pile of furs, placing them in the corner. Move them there, and then you'll go to sleep. Your guide points at the center of the room. Well, 3 hours before dusk. Save and check our journal. So, explore the peninsula. I've gone pretty far. Well, he's gone to the highlands. I need to place one old rod there. I need to go back down to the creeks. I can ask the sorcerer about that as well. We're running out of quests. We're almost done. Let's go. I'm continuing this save, I think I was. Travel. Probably can't travel anywhere. Yeah, I can't. Might as well just sleep. Sleep in a shed. You're offered a weiss and pelt to cover the cold rocks, but you'd be often disturbed by people patrolling. You're hungry. Well, I'm already hungry. I sleep anyway, even though I'm hungry. It's fine. I'm shocked not really. You don't watch much TV or movies much. No, I don't. I've seen movies a lot, but ages ago on the old VHS tapes. That's the only way that I've seen movies often. Never gone to the theatres much, since they weren't around a lot of the time. Although, yeah, I've mostly seen movies and TV shows. But things like The Family Guys or The Simpsons, they don't interest me, so I don't watch them. You've worked a clean room, Fox. No swearing. Let's do. Yay, let's go. We'll keep it up. No swearing allowed. You gladly leave the shed, making sure that Reginald is safe and rested, then prepare your equipment. There are a few souls around, mostly guards replacing the night shift. The Salaran rider is yawning without the helmet. She reveals her short chestnut curls. She's already keeping an eye on you from the caveman. Let's travel. Let's go down to the sorcerer. On fly, I've already read that. It's getting cold, but into the yard. Have you heard about Highlands? Of course, she says right away, but leans away and glances at you. Though I don't pay much attention to the monk's tale. She brushes her dark hair with her fingers, giving you a moment. She doesn't share much with you. Highlands is a large island somewhere close to the coast, but its high volcano makes it a worried sight, maybe covered with green grasses and hills, but no tribe aspires to claim it. You may want to ask Foggy. She loves tales of weird places. Okay. Let's go to the creeks. Let's talk to the hunter. Do you know any creatures that live on the high islands? How could I, friend? I haven't been there. He suddenly looks at the sky, raises his hand, and starts tapping the top of the wolf's head. But the harpies they're coming on the coast and open waters. I saw them from Guard Rocks, beaches, rocks, sticks. Don't fly well when move when thrown upwards. A bow would make a safer bet. About the hunters. Any good news? Do you recognize this knife? He reaches for it without thinking twice and brings it close to his face, studying the tiny details on the bone. He whispers, I do. It belongs to Ayrton's mother. He lowers it, but holds it tightly. She's not around anymore. Where was it? The time. He listens patiently, knowing you are saying as much as you can. There's no shell, only a ghoul. Everyone knows what that means. He'll wake up soon. He shakes his head, as if to drop the thought. I stay quiet. Well, we have a deal. You have done your part. Thanks, I think. He puts an open palm on his forehead and closes his eyes. Once he notices the wolf head's obscuring his fingers, he takes it off. ゚Secret liked this head. His voice is empty. He told me he'd get a larger one. He looked at you. There are tears in his eyes, yet his voice is absent. Yes, we made a deal. I'll join you on your own adventure when the time comes, but I need to first close this ordeal. You ask him what he needs, but he puts on the hood and quinters his lips into a shadow of a smile. Nothing from you, friend. I've already spoken with the others. The wood is ready to pyre. We've meat to roast. You did a lot for our little tribe. We'd love to see you at our table. There may be some tears amongst us, but there'll be laughter, songs, and enough of Foggy's cask cast to forget a thing or two. You suddenly realize the opportunity at hand. A group of valuable dazed souls may open their ears to your request. If you're on their good side and know enough about them, it would be a perfect moment to convince them. Why am I still convincing them? Can't we not convince them? I'm sure I could spare an evening. Assuming it's Alfred who's preparing it, I'll speak with him when I'm ready. Don't keep us waiting too long, eh? I might be in your debt, but I don't want to pull all this. But I want to put all this behind me. Focus on what's to come. Good hunting. I go to the carpenter. You're polishing the surface of a new cradle. He smiles and puts away his tools. Welcome back, friend. Good to see where you can stay safe on the roads. I made some additional progress about the East Pass. I made a deal with the Enchantress. Her gonna look after the surrounding watchtower. The description of the golems make him tighten his shoulder cloak. When he grabs the casket, he holds it tightly. Are you sure they aren't gonna attack anyone? Seeing your unconvinced smile, he counts down 3 bones without looking at them, lost in his thought. One day you'll be grateful for what I did. He laughs. You took almost all the savings we had. I'm sure it was a good investment. I've cleared the bushes. His eyes widen. He looks left and right, then whispers. How would you do such a thing? Someone may now think there's a path there. I frown. I need that path. He observes you in silence and gives up. I trust a warden's judgment. Wait here for a bit, if you may. He puts away his tools and heads to a distant building. Once he has returned, he's holding a wooden plank. Take this. Leave it somewhere on the trail at the bridge, would you? Maybe tie it to a tree. He hands you an old sign covered with a reddish paint. Blood there. You think. Then ask him if it's not too dark. It's the only paint we can squeeze out from plants in our meadows, he emits, and gets back to work. Very well. Everything ready, friend? We'd be glad to have you at our side. I'm honored to be invited. The rite takes little time and goes without a prayer, sing, or sacrifice. Family members share their memories and regrets. Every story here is vague, yet accompanied by understanding and nods. Looks shared amongst the tribe, as well as chuckles and tears that start long before the conclusion. After the years you spent in Halvin, it's hard for you to imagine how familiar and imitated all the people around you are. Even Foggy and her staff are paying a visit this evening. The tavern is closed. You now sit at a table, and the first few meals are brought in. The bowls are filled with meats, but it's the humble loaves of bread, slices of cheese, herbal sauce, and smoked fish, wild berries that disappear first. The warmth of the bonfire is reaching your hands and face, comforting you whenever a gust of wind hits the square. The bone earring instantly vanishes amongst the logs. The cooks have pierced the chunk of game meat with long sticks and are holding them in the flames. There may be no priests, but I share the solemnity of the moment. The woods crack beneath the flames. You've never seen the village of the creek so quiet as it is now, but the way the locals face their mourning is anything but lonely. Pats on the backs or hands are common, as well as long embraces and whispered condolences. As time goes on, more and more people rest on stools and chairs, though there are a few exceptions. An old man with no leg is lying on a blanket, served by a girl who seems to be his great-granddaughter. One of the hunters steps away to go back on the watchtower, keeping an eye out for any beings that might be lurking by the noises, lured by the noises. The dark-haired woodcutter is sitting in front of the building, singing about the forests of the past and the gardens of tomorrow. The cooks are bustling about, bringing supplies from the houses of gatherings. and taking care of roasting the meat. Most of the children are half awake. They don't want to go to sleep. As the cups are filled with mead, ale, and cinder, brought here by Foggy, Alfred is the first person to sit down next to you, and loudly, though he's still observing the flames. His wolf cloak is nowhere in sight, though from time to time he reaches towards his head, as if he's not used to the wind brushing his black hair, now shining in the dancing light. Judging by the way he sways and how absent his eyes are, he opened one of the caskets a few hours back. How you holding up? I'm using my privilege of being still alive to heal. He starts with confidence, but the voice cracks. Folks say I did nothing wrong, but, I could have, say no, stopped them. And I've seen how, what's-her-face, Dahlia's little sister, looked at me. She's only 10, and now all alone. I'm as useful as a spirit. Once you figure out what he's talking about, you try to respond, but he interrupts you by pointing at you with his mug. I mean, you're dead, eh? We're going on an adventure. His eyes shift into anger. Was losing my wit waiting for this evening. You kept me for so long, waiting. You can't see those how were my friends. As he rambles, his thoughts wander off somewhere else. Before he gets back to you, Alfred gives him a pat on his back and places a full mug in front of you. I better chug it. You can live with drinking. You hardly manage to get through half the mug and almost spitting it out. The distant mouths are heavy, and after a few gulps burn your mouth. The brew is much stronger than most beers and ales you've tasted, and for now you put it away, resting your forehead on an open palm as you try to forget your mistakes. The hunter bursts into laughter, luring interest looking from his ゚Secret tribe, while the carpenter simply smiles, grabbing himself a stool, and joins you with his own slow drinking. All three of you stare into the flames, hardly noticing a few more sooty folks have gathered behind you. The carpenter breaks the silence. How are you doing, Rin? Life's been treating you good in the peninsula? I've had a few good days of making progress. Every day is like a struggle. I feel stuck. I did feel stuck before I did a bunch of research. Chug, chug, chug. You like drinking? It's a savage place. I'm just trying to survive. I didn't even think about it. I'll start living once I'm done with what I need to do. I'm making progress. Wonderful! He strokes his stomach and meets your eyes. Just don't disappear like Ariston. He'd rather chase after something his whole life than walk away with little. Not unlike me, but also, he tilts his mug, pointing towards the mouth of it at the flames. Not unlike them. After a few moments, you realize that almost half of the adults are gathered behind you, observing you keenly. As tensions rise, you think about your blade, now resting by your saddlebag. It's Alfred who asks the questions. We owe you a lot, Rin. Why do you really help us? Halvan wants to reach his lands. For your own sake, you should join. Taxes, loyalty. Why do I have to say that? Can I say something else? Old Halvar is right, says one of the farmers. That's why they sent the second one, as the woodcutter. Fussing stops as quickly as it starts, cut by the loud voice of the drunk Alfred. Let the RoadWarden make a case for it. You glance at the eyes of locals. Some of them are distrustful, others are curious, a few of them excited. Even though you've already recognized many of these faces, the dancing flames make them look like a stranger crowd waiting for a prophecy. An old druid who lives on the opposite side of the peninsula told me about the recent migration of beasts in the north. You've been struggling with monsters for decades. It's time you finally seek allies. I know you don't have as many supplies as you need, depending on animals. Keep alive to butcher. It's not safe there with winter. Don't really believe this will keep... No. Sooner or later, no. Live in isolation. No. Just look how much work I was able to complete at the Eastern Pass. You can't keep it clear by yourself, but with the city's armies and regular merchant troops, it will induce winters and rain. Told me about the recent migration beasts in the north. You've been struggling with monsters for decades now. It's time you seek allies. Beasts don't enter our valley, says one of the hunters, but is quickly shushed. Yet, added one of the one-handed farmers harshly, while an herbulous with wavy hair points at the bonfire, and even if it'll turn into a prison. Some of the locals are in agreement, but all Halvin's tone is far from deliberate. Better to have a troll in the yard than keep a dragon in the bed. Elrin nods in agreement. Your horsemanship got you far further than any of us in a long time. One of the hunters interrupts him, but you can see that the RoadWarden has never helped us for our sake, eh? They're city spies. The carpenter gives him a long look, then carries on slowly. Spies or not, Rin's past efforts will change our future. I'm willing to see what even a single RoadWarden can do, not to mention a squad of soldiers. Can't really believe a wall will keep you safe, do you? Without a forest garden, you lack wood. You can't afford stone, you need proper guards. Our walls have been good enough, starts one of the farmers, but his partner, now holding an arm around his back, is more doubtful. We've lost children, chicken and food to small beasts. We don't have good eye to watch everything. Alvin chips in with enthusiasm. If we hope to grow our families and invite new folk, we'll need more homes, more ground, a new wall. I'd rather have it be a strong one. Still, some of the locals would rather see more efforts put into new fields rather than on new wall. One bad fire in the forest and we'd all go hungry. I mean, a forager. And mentions a forager and a few others agree. I know you don't have many supplies as you need, depending on what animals you keep alive. Butchering is not the safe way to deal with the winters. Some of them don't meet your eye, as if to avoid omitting the days of hunger. Alfred lets out a sigh. At the beginning of summer, I'd say he pauses to take a breath with the cloud of a drink. We'd had more hunters than ever, but he glances at the bonfire and turns back to the crowd quickly, clenching his teeth. Alfred observes him for a moment, but doesn't comment on his behavior. We do have a field now. It may not be so bad. The rest of the tribe adds into both sides of the agreement, though no conclusion is reached. It's risky, but you know me well. I have your trust and you won't be tricked. You'll take the troll? Okay. What about the dragon? You're not gonna take the dragon away? You could have the dragon far better than I far. After a few breaths, one of the foragers speaks softly. RoadWarden has brought us a lot of goods, and isn't just a city servant. A few eyes come from the people around her. As a brief close focuses on your deeds and words until Afrin reaches for his absent hood and scoffs. We ought to listen to the strong thoughts, not soft hearts, he says loudly, and the majority of the group agrees and nods in agreement. If you're so eager, maybe it's you should stay around, mentioned the dark-haired woodcutter, but a herbious friend shakes head. We not need one soul, but a way to find many its place. Plagues are stronger than one shall and will. Even though she says so, many in her tribe give you a warm smile. I have nothing more to add. Then it's time for the discussion and the vote, announces Alfred. Gestures for everybody to form a circle, and Foggy agrees, and fast. We wake up early. I want you to reach the tavern soon after sunrise. And oh, love, She looks at you with a wolf-like grin. Better take care of that before it burns. She points at the piece of roasting malfry. Nice. For the next few minutes you listen to the lively discussions, but it turns out to be rather one-sided. Most of the doubts get buried by pointed responses or references to your past deeds. Finally the voting occurs. It takes no scribe to spot many hands raised to the aye side. I stand up. There's no clapping or cheers. Alfred spreads his arms, lit by the glow of the bonfire. We'll meet with the city folk and negotiate terms. The shadow of his words spreads above the old untamed past of the tribe, and the griefs follow. Nevertheless, a few of the locals approach you to share good word and to wish you a safe journey to the city. Some hope you'll bring back a few gifts. I hope so too. The feast continues with a heavy soul, but the tension leaves your shell. All you have left are heavy eyelids and some time to kill. I go to Afra and chat with him about the past. You wake up on a pile of furs just a few hours, still thinking about the feast and your conversation with the hunter. At first you get bored with the half-drunken man and consider seeking a sleeping spot, but when he reveals the guilt that still bites his soul, while you can't heal him, he finds comfort in having somebody to talk to. That's why I went and talked to him. And in the stories you share with him, you observe the flowing creek beyond the village. Now there are loud conversations coming from the main square. There are people sitting with plates of cold meat and bowls of gruel, chatting about the plans for the day. Some of them wish you a great day. Reginald is well rested and satisfied. Yay. Okay. What's the time? It is 3 hours. I'm gonna stop here because I've got things to do. But journal. I have running out on quests. I have sleeping giant that I've nobody to ask about, which is great. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna be focusing on the white marshes when I come back. And the steep house. We will go through that. The steep house. But yeah. Thank you for joining me, Wade. It was very nice to talk to you again. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and thank you for the like that you gave, and the one that Reginald also gave. We'll let Reginald sleep until next time. And yeah. I'll let you guys go. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a good rest of your night/day or afternoon. There's so many time zones.